In less than 2 hours, The Vampire Diaries Season 6 will air on tonight on the CW. Bring on the tears. We ranked all the Vampire Diaries deaths with Nina Dobrev and Julie Plec. Are you guys ready? Looking back on how many times Julie Plec has made us cry, you think she was like our high school bully, or a toxic ex, or something horrible like that. But in fact, The Vampire Diaries showrunner is one of our favorite people ever, all because she knows exactly how to make us feel so much in such a little 42-minute chunk of time once a week. If you've seen every episode of TVD, and most more than one, like us, you know exactly what we're talking about. How many times have we had to say goodbye to fan favorite characters when they die on the show? Too many. And yet, each time is even more genius and heartbreaking than the last. Since Season 6 of TVD premieres tonight, we decided to round up and rank every single death we've had to endure on the show, from the ones we cheered for. Silas! Professor Shane, to the ones we will still cry about, Lexi and Jenna. But as we quickly realized, picking which death was the most heartbreaking is really hard, so we went straight to Plec and TVD star Nina Dobrev for help. Plec agreed with us that it was hard to pick the most heartbreaking and important deaths, so she gave us her top 4. Number 1, Vicki Donovan. Can't let you all. Was a hugely important death because it was 6 episodes in the show. She was a series regular, and it was our way of saying to the audience, stand up and pay attention, because at any time anybody can go. Plec told us losing a character like that, it made everyone go, oh, there are real stakes attached to the show, and anything could happen. Vicki was the first major death, but she was by no means the last. The death of Sarah Cannon, who played Aunt Jenna, really was the birth of class and really sad. This is a villain who is to be reckoned with. Plec said, he is not the villain with the heart of gold. He's not the guy you want to be soft and cuddly with. He's bad, and he could take you out with the blink of his eyelash. It really validated and legitimized this villain, who became important for the 3rd season and then ultimately for the entire series and spin-off. This one really made me cry. You might know him. And here's where the tears start falling. 2D fans, my personal favorite emotional death is Alaric, as we know as Rick Matt Davis, because I have never seen anything sadder in my entire life from those two boys. Sitting in the tomb, sharing a bottle of bourbon, and that single, man, tear that comes down, Plec says, there's just no more perfect cinematic, emotional moment, and it was the loss of a guardian. It was a character we all loved, and nobody wanted to see him go. It was devastating. No kidding. We still cry. We hear the phrase, be still. Plec's top choice for the most important death of the series, however, was Elena. Her turn into a vampire took the heroine in English of the show, who was the everyday girl next door, who was the human. It took her on a spinning wheel roller coaster ride. Sometimes for the better and sometimes for the worse, Plec said. It allowed us to break free because the girl next door can get stale sometimes. When you turn your heroine into a vampire, anything goes, and that's when it became thrilling to write for that character. And it allowed us to finally break her up with Stefan, devastating, but because she had changed, she was a different person. That led us to put her together with Damon. And now, this is the one that I really did not want to die. When we asked Dobrev to pick her top choice, she picked one of her doppelgangers, but not because it made her cry the most. I would say Catherine's death was probably the most epic and important because she was such a frickin' nonsense for so long in everyone's life. Dobrev told us The way she died, she literally got sucked into hell. I feel like that was the most epic death. Once to find out which death was ranked, at those click through our gallery below and make sure to have plenty of Kleenex on hand. You're going to need it. The Vampire Diaries Season 6 premieres tonight at 8 p.m. on the CW. I think that the most death that I did not like would basically be... it's a really good question. I would have to say... I honestly would have to say Carol Lockwood. She was the mayor because her husband died in the fire in the first season. I actually adore Carol. She's actually an amazing person in the show, but she's also in Teen Wolf. She plays Lydia's mother. But thank you guys so much, and we're going to talk about more. Thanks, guys. Bye.